So in this video, I'm going to be sharing a story how I did not invest in any growing, largely exponential asset class such as mutual funds, index funds, or even the stocks. And why does not investing really made me poorer, relatively poorer? So hi, my name is Shatakshi. If you're new to my channel, in this channel I discuss about wealth management, career advancement, and consulting. So feel free to click on the subscribe button. I mean, why would you not? Because it's free of cost to click on the subscribe button so that you get notified every time I'm actually putting out a content on wealth management, career advancement, and of course consulting. So in this video, we are going to be sharing why net savings do not really help you enough to become richer, or rather only savings you net makes you a poorer person. So I recently made a video on the value of savings or on the value of accounting your personal expenses, and I know a lot of you must be thinking that Shatakshi, but in that video you were advocating about savings, you were talking about how savings is actually the first means to become richer in life, and I completely understand that. So think of that as a basic video. If not watched that video, definitely I urge you to go first and watch the video what is the first means to become richer in life, and that is the foundation, that is the basic. But let me first and foremost help you understand that our entire generation does not understand largely what is compounding, or we do not understand what is largely the inflation. And in this video I'm going to be helping you understand that why savings, even though it is the first principles or the first fundamental of becoming rich in life, it is not still sufficient enough or enough for you to avoid poverty or avoid becoming poorer in life. So first and foremost, let's really understand the concept of inflation. It's sad that our entire generation is taught about fundamental of thermodynamics and mechanics, but not about inflation, what is really inflation. And people who get the best marks in their 10th board are be like that, hey, why are you taking commerce? You are a studious student, you should be taking science. That's such a garbage concept, and I am actually an output of such a garbage concept. But coming back, our entire generation does not really know largely what is really compounding, what is really inflation. So inflation is basically the rising cost of goods and services that can be that is typically inflation as a concept, and the government actually monitors it. It is about the basic necessities, the basic goods and commodities, oil, your pulses, your groceries, and so on and so forth. So basically, what costs rupees 100 today may not cost rupees 100 5 years down the line. There is an inflation of, let's say, 5 to 6%. So there it could cost 105. And why does that really bother people like you and me? Because the affordability may not increase accordingly as much as the inflation is. And you may ask, Shatakshi, but suddenly why is a property or a land which was costing me 100 crores or 100 lakhs or 100,000 suddenly growing at a rate of 5%? There could be two reasons. Largely, number one reason is definitely the cost of goods and services. If you take another example than the cost of the land, then many times the raw materials, the labor cost, or the fixed cost that goes behind creating that particular goods and services, if they rise, then accordingly the final output or the final price of that goods and services rise. So that could be reason number one for inflation. Reason number two is, of course, when you think of pricing, then it's a sheer demand and supply curve. The demand could be rising and the supply is not able to is not able to match the increasing demand, and hence the price of the goods and services rise. And mind you, typically the government will take care of not the Mercedes-Benz, that hey, the price of Mercedes-Benz has been rising and hence it is inflation. No, it is typically the basic goods and commodities, because it's the government's role, and that's why people like you and I pay taxes, so that people at the bottom of the pyramid are able to afford what we call as roti, kapda and makan, right? And coming back to the point that let's say you have hypothetically 1 lakh salary per month, right? And you watched my video and you said that, Shatakshi, I am a diligent saver now. I save at least 20%, which is 20,000 of my monthly savings, right? Ideally, if you are having 1 lakh of your salary per month, you should be saving more than that. But in my previous video, I had shared how the rule of 20% is a good starting point for you to save. But here is what the challenge is. We are sitting in, let's say, 2022, and in 20,000 rupees, you could say that, Shatakshi, I'm living in Gurgaon, I can afford a flat, I can afford my groceries, I can afford my Uber and transportation, and I can afford clothing and my other wants that I also have, because guess what? I don't want to live really like a meager person and not have any wishes. I understand that people have certain lifestyle to maintain, but guess what happens is inflation hits you, right? And even though your salary was perhaps rising at a rate of, let's say, 3 to 4 percentage per annum, inflation is rising because of the macroeconomic reasons at a rate of 6 to 7 percentage, right? Hypothetically, what situation I'm trying to create for you is that your salary is rising at X percentage and inflation is rising at X percentage, and that is, my friends, the number one reason why people become poorer, right? Even though you're earning, even though you're saving, even though your salary is rising, and you feel, oh my god, I'm becoming richer. No, you're not becoming richer, my friend, because your wealth is not overgrowing the inflation largely, and that's why it is typically advisable that you should invest your money. And there could be multiple asset classes for that, right? There could be mutual funds, there could be bonds, there could be index funds. Index funds is actually a subset of mutual funds. If you don't know what is index fund, I put 90% of my money in the stock and index fund. So if you do not know what is index fund, I will put a link of the video somewhere up here, and you would be able to watch that. I highly advise you to watch that video, what is index fund and how can you grow your money, and in fact make sure that you are sleeping and your money is growing and someone else is working for you. It's the classic way of growing money, and it takes care of your expense ratio as well. But coming back to the topic, I highly urge that you really understand the fundamentals of finance. These are called personal finance 101. I understand that nobody taught us compounding. I know that we learned simple interest and compound interest, but nobody taught us that, hey, when you're putting your money, eventually when for a long period of time, compounding takes long period of time, and you should make sure that you're not breaking that compounding. But you have to always make sure that your wealth is overgrowing at least at a rate which is higher than what is inflation at. Inflation is at an all-time high, and that is because of the macroeconomic indexes. US government, US Fed is trying to reduce the inflation by looking at their repo rate. If you do not know once again what is repo rate, then check out my MBA in 10 minutes, where I discuss economics, accounting, marketing, strategy, operations, all in just 10 minutes. People like you and I, we just do not need to learn MBA concepts for cracking an interview or for just getting a promotion. We need to know these things. These things impact your taxes. These things can help you become a better judge rather of whether the market is going to go up or not. So for example, typically when the bond market is doing well, the equity market is down, and vice versa. At least cyclically, macroeconomically, that's what how the markets operate. That's all my time with you. If you like the video, feel free to hit on the subscribe and the like button. We are on a mission here. We are actually giving away a lot of free education on personal finance, consulting and career advice, so that you are part of the mission. Come join me, click on the subscribe and like button so that your friends, your network get notified. That's how the algorithm works, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.